So here we are in Astro Colony. Now, I have started a colony already. The developer specifically asked, like, we've seen, people have probably seen the start of the game quite a few times. So can we get the one that's sort of, entering the mid game and just getting some things started off? So here's one I have prepared earlier. I'll give you a quick little tour of the little space colony that I've got going on so far. So this is the ground floor. You do have a jetpack in here because we are, actually in space. It's okay, jetpacking. So you start with this little platform over here. I have actually stripped a bunch of things that were on the platform for parts for other things. Some of the start reminds me a little bit of when you play like Factorio with the C-Block mod, because you've got at the start kind of a limited amount of space. But we can absolutely expand this platform out, a whole bunch if we want to. We've got quite a bit of flexibility in terms of construction over there. Currently, I'm not doing much with the ground floor, although I think in today's stream, I think we're going to have to be setting up an auction processing center on this floor. Now, in terms of resource gatherings, normally, well, at the start of the game, not normally, but at the start of the game, you would gather resources with a pickaxe. One of our, every base builder game seems to be like all about whacking some stuff for resources. So different asteroids that are flying around here, and they're constantly sort of spawning. We're in this big asteroid field, so new ones are always flying by. So this one here has got some iron ore, which is going to be groovy. Some of them have a mix of things. So there's iron, copper, rarely gold. Some of them are ice. And some of them are, there's a gold one right there. And some of them are carbon, as we just saw. But obviously, this is a game about automation as well as space exploration in a procedurally generated little sector of space over here. What you will rapidly do is go from manually whacking at rocks to constructing asteroid catchers. Now, at first, they're manual. You manually operate them. They've got a little turret with tractor beam that will pull in the rocks, and then they'll bring one of the asteroids inside, rip them apart, and then bring in the next one. But then the big thing that really lets you scale up your production is when you get to these auto asteroid catchers, which is running here. They're just constantly yoinking the closest asteroid they see, pulling them in, tearing them apart, and then I've got them running on these conveyor belts over here. Pickaxe is a must in most building games. Absolutely. So right now, this is not really scalable, the setup I've got now. It's just enough for now. We'll have to make something quite a bit bigger to scale up going forward. But all of it is being routed over here. I got a wee bit of spaghettification going on with my conveyor belts because I actually just changed this area. I'm in the process of reorganizing my base. I used to have my power generation over here. So all the carbon that I'm pulling out of these rocks, I used to have so a little power plant over here. So right now, I've just done this little temporary little thing here to route all this carbon down to my basement over here, where I've got a variety of different power plants supplying power for my base. I really like the big chunky cabling that you got going on here. It looks like, I really think it's quite great. And yeah, you can build these vertical supports. You can build new flooring and things like that. I built some safety railing around here because, safety first, obviously. Yeah. And then I got a couple of smelters here. Again, this I want to change because I want to make a huge floor that's just asteroid catchers. And actually, you can stack them like vertically quite well. I think we're probably going to end up growing quite tall here with just mass asteroid catchers in the long run. But for now, these couple of little smelters are going to be okay. And I've got things stockpiling in this base warehouse over here. What's neat about this warehouse is anything that's in here, you can actually use for construction. When you're constructing things, it'll automatically pull things out of this as if it's sort of an extended inventory, which is really handy dandy. And this is our research lab. There is a tech tree. So this is the tech tree in the game. I have already researched absolutely everything I can before getting actual human colonists. Everything else...
New subscriber.
Hey, Darkstar, thanks for sub. Everything else that comes after this actually requires some humans to generate some of the science for me. So I have to make a colony where I can welcome in astronauts. I need breathable space. I need a few things set up to be able to do that, to continue down the tech tree. You also have these like little breadcrumb quests. You actually have this little bot. If I go and turn this guy back on, there you go. They will prompt me with various quests over here, and actually I can cycle through the various missions I have running by hitting R while pointing at him. There's going to be a few different things we need to do. But we're going to focus on this one first, the exploration. We have to visit a planet. I'm going to go and turn this one because he'll follow you around. Being very helpful, I'm sure, just like Clippy in Microsoft Word. But for now, we're just going to go and put him back to sleep so that he doesn't chase us around. That's going to be okay. With those cables, I can finally recreate my PC setup in a video game. Yeah, I mean, the cabling. So one of the things is some of the cabling over here was just me when this left over from my little starting setup. But what's really nice with the flooring here is the cable can actually run through the floor. So you can do all this underfloor cabling. And so from the top, you don't really see it. You just have when your devices need power, they just have this little connection over here, which is really nice for organization. So yeah, so we got these little planetoids, but that's not going to do sort of in the long run. What we need to do here to complete this exploration little breadcrumb quest is visit a planet. And way over there is a larger chunk, big enough to be considered a planet as far as I know. So we're going to have to build some little thrusters on our base and move ourselves, which I haven't done yet in this save. But as far as I can tell, the way we do it is I'm going to find some chunk to put down some thrusters. It doesn't really matter where. We'll put it right over here. I like that. Let's go ahead and turn off my little jetpack. I'm going to go down over this way. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into the construct menu, devices. There we go. I've got some electric thrusters over here. Well, I might not have actually enough. I mean, we can do it with just one. I want to point generally in this direction. But I need some more hydrogen blocks to make more. Okay. I mean, we can get there with just one, but it'll be a little faster. And I'm suspecting we're going to want more hydrogen blocks. So let's set up kind of a ice processing sector over here. Yeah, that sounds good. So we're going to need a couple of things. You're in space. How much force can inertia exert? Unlimited in inventory. I suppose it's true. Yeah. What do I need? What do I need? I will need a icebreaker first of all. And yeah, you can see the little ghost images of the various inputs and things like that. And that includes over there. Some ice. How do I want to sort this? You know, I think I'll just put this here. I think no matter what, there's going to be a little bit of rotating around, but that's going to be fine. Let's grab my power cables. So here we are going to have the power cables not go through things. This is this foundation here is a little thicker, and I don't know if I can run cables through it. Maybe I still can, I'm not sure. But we're just going to have them visible for this little setup. I think I'm going to want sort of a dedicated kind of whole floor area somewhere along the way for more water processing. But, all right, we got that. This water crusher, or this ice crusher, will take in ice, which I have a bunch in here. It's actually quite nice to load these things in. Anything that can craft, if you mouse over the recipe that's going on here, I can load enough to craft it one time, I can load enough to craft it 5 times, or I can hit max and literally just like, I'm going to dump all my ice cubes in here. So this is going to be producing water, which we're going to want to, maybe I'll put in a little water cell here just to bank some water. And then let's get some piping. There we go. So this should be dumping water into that. We'll let it run through a cycle or two and confirm that that is happening, but that should be the case. Yeah, there we go. There you go, 5 water stored. I think it makes 5 waters per cycle. Yeah, so every 10 seconds, it's going to crush an ice cube and generate 5 water. I suspect we're going to want a lot of water crushers, but I'm just going to try to do a wee bit of a bootstrap over here before we figure out what our actual proper industrial scale water processing is going to look like. There we go, 15 stored. That's great. I do have over here an oxygen generator, which reminds me, I do have my personal oxygen tank. And with this, you can refill your personal oxygen by using ice, although I do need some in my inventory. So let me split this stack up, something like that. And yeah, I'll just go and take some cubes back. So now if I've got ice cubes in my inventory, I can just push F on this and refill my oxygen tank. And you can see in the bottom left corner over here. We'll be looking for a better way going forward. And one of the things you can do is you can pump water directly into this to keep this operating. And I think in that case, actually, even this is even powered up. Like I've got it plugged in, but I actually have this device turned off. I think the oxygen generator actually dumps oxygen, maybe in the room, but no, actually, I think it generates. Yeah, I can turn on a recipe here. Yeah, water to turn into oxygen tanks, which then I can do things with the oxygen tank. Okay, but that'll come in a little bit. Right now, what I need is hydrogen tank generation so I can build more electric thrusters over here. So I'm gonna need another machine. Yeah, there is some sort of gravity field around here. If I don't have my jetpack on, as far as I know, you will fall forever without your jetpack on. So eventually you'll die from lack of oxygen. But, you know, obviously we're not too worried about falling, generally speaking, because of the jetpack. While you're running the jetpack, you can also hit shift to boost, and you do accelerate quite quickly with it, but the boost burns a lot of oxygen. So there's some actually nice mobility options in here. Okay, hydrogen. I think that's under devices. There's also a little search over here. There you go. Hydro generator over here. Oh yeah, robot assemblers. Yeah, you can have little robot friends. In fact, this is a robot assembler here. It's currently turned off, and I did get it to build one transport bot. Although currently I don't think I have anything for the transport bot to do, but that'll be interesting to play with later on. Anyway, hydro generator. Yep. So you need power. Yeah, water input, and then it will export some stuff. Oh, that's right. I think this also needs to be fed into some coal. Okay, so again, we're just gonna go and get things running in some fashion here, and then we'll see what we can do to clean things up later on for bulk production. Probably outside of the scope of this short little stream that we're doing. So we're gonna input some of this water directly into here. And if we check the recipe here, it needs water and it needs carbon ore, and it will produce hydrogen tanks for me. So this little area here, this is where my carbon... I was gonna say, where's my carbon ore? There it goes. My carbon ore comes down here, and then it goes into my power plants. But I want to go and put a little diverter on here. I want to put a splitter on this bad boy. So if we go to logic blocks, we're going to get a splitter on here. And I'm just going to make sure to rotate it correctly. There we go. So now, where do we want this to end up? We want this to end up over here. Oh, hang on. I should click and drag it the opposite way here. It's going to go from here. Hang on. Change of plans. A little further out. Let's go out one more, just to give me room for other things. There you go. Oop. If you click and drag, it'll face the way that you're dragging, which saves you some little micro to orientate things. Okay. So there you go. A third of the carbon that's going to come down here is going to get fed this way. I haven't unlocked. There is a logic block for, like, it's an inventory sensor over here, which I believe will stop it. Because right now, I think by default, it will just accept unlimited amounts of carbon. I don't know if there's a way to set a limiter as is, or if that's what the sensor is supposed to be. So we got that. The other thing I could do is I have tons of carbon in my inventory. I could have not bothered with this, right? I can go and kill that for now. And instead, I can just go and load, like, there you go, a ton of carbon in here. And then if we get power to this, it's quite convenient, middle mouse click to copy things. And again, so we're gonna have lots of spaghetti little wiring over here because I'm not routing through things through the floor. But this machine is now operational and is now producing hydrogen tanks. And these will just get stored in its inventory. But I could also put a conveyor belt on this little output over here if I wanted to, and then I could store it for something else. But for now, it's going to be totally fine for this just to get crafted in the inventory and ready to go. So I now have enough material for a couple of these. So I'm going to go and drop, another one down. And we're going to need some power for this block. So what I'm going to do here... These thrusters are now working. So we're heading in this direction over here. Now, we want to go that way, but also clearly down and to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify... So down and to the right. Down and to the right. There we go. If I can get a few more thrusters. Now you're going to say, wow, this whole, like, manually running the thrusters things feels kind of, like, awkward. What's the deal with that? Well, as it turns out, there is a better solution. Let's run you down and to the right, but let's just keep you pushing sort of forward here. That's going to be fine. In the tech tree, there is... First of all, there's advanced engines over here for plasma thrusters, but also other navigation. We've got control panel here that lets us remote control all thrusters to find optimal flight direction, and also the ability to have an autopilot so we can set destinations and stuff like that. However, I can't unlock this quite yet, so I don't have it. So right now we're gonna fly this manually. All right, I'm gonna call that good enough. Let's leave those thrusters there. Let's set up a little area for our docking platform. I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of this. Let's get rid of these diagonal bits too. Just be a little easier to work. Okay. We'll get some flooring down here. We'll just square this off. Go. We'll give ourselves some space to work over here. And then, yeah, we'll find out if we're close enough. So what I want to do is I want to go under device. So the harpoon connector is what I use to grab the tiny planetoids. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the docking station and attach one to the edge over here. And then as I get close over here, there we go. I was going to say there'll be an area with highlighted arrows. So I can build it on this side. And if I go to one of these and I click dock, there you go. Just dragging everything over. I don't know if this thing is moving or that thing is moving, but something is moving. Now kiss. There we are. And now we have this little bad boy. Very cool and glowy. We can have conveyor belts to be able to shift things from one to the other. Next thing we have to do is construct an oxygen barrier for a living quarter. Now, I can do that on this planet. I could also do it as a separate platform. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a living quarter for our people. Okay, docking station connect to space colony planets to each other. Required for astronaut arrival. Do I just build a... Oh, wait, hold on. Do I just build a docking station not connected to my space colony? Or only connected to my space colony? And do ships dock there? Is there something I can do? Call astronauts. Oh. Oh! Spend gold bars, call astronauts. Okay. So we got a countdown over there. There we go. In 60 seconds, we're going to get 4 astronauts. I have no idea what it's going to be like. So what is the purpose of the vehicle other than being awesome? And you can build the spacecraft as well. I'm assuming on some planets, there might be some bigger ones. Maybe it's more important. Prepare hydrotonic, early accessible food crafting in a hydrogen generator. Oh, hang on, really? So my hydrogen generator over here must have more than one recipe. It do! My humans are starting to get hungry. Damn, see, I called them before I was all set up. But for now, what I can do is I can come over here, yoink the hydrotonic. Oh, hold on. What do you got to say, buddy? Astronauts use various devices to satisfy needs. Build a hibernation chamber for sleep and canteens with food for hunger. Okay. Look at you go, little bot! Is he gonna grab? Yes! He's grabbing the hydrotonic and bringing it over. Okay, we're gonna have to do a complete relayout because obviously this is not working very well. Oh my god. Okay, what is it called? The hibernation chamber. A dining stand! Oh my god. They were refusing to eat without a table. Haha! It is RimWorld. Okay. I'll make this prettier later, I promise. And they have pretty good character models. Alright. They'll be fine. They won't die now, probably, maybe. I probably should have just started with 1 astronaut and figure out how to make them run. Although it looks like I can have up to 3 in the research lab, so... Okay, I have learned... Oh, click. Next. Bravo! You've learned a lot here. Now progress in colony development. Build a school where newcomers can get their professions. Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea because I need scientists. You have to sort it... Oh, they go to sleep! Sorry, there's one can't sleep yet. There you go. Now you're going to go in there. Awesome. It's okay. When you wake up, there'll probably be some xenomorphs that want to like plant eggs in your stomach. It's going to be okay. Yes, so thank you very much. As a reminder, you can get Astro Colony today. It's an early access. There's also a free demo on the Steam page. You can check it in the What Game, or if you're watching on YouTube, check the links down in the description down below for where you can pick up Astro Colony today if it's your jam.